Hello, it's Andrew Gardner, and we're back doing the application for a new client in an RSP. And we've put in all the initial information, and now we're at the source of funds page. So this is where we're going to put in where the money is coming from to source into the account. So we have different options here. We can run a PAD, cash deposit by check, transfer from another institution. You can do up to 3 of those, as well as B2B RSP loans. So we're going to do the pre-authorized debit. We can do a single payment, which would be La Capitale going into the client's bank account and lifting the money directly from the account. We can do it as a recurring payment, monthly or bi-weekly, or single and recurring. I'm going to leave single and recurring, that way we can walk through both. In this case, I put the single amount as $5,000, the recurring amount as $200, the frequency is every month. Keep in mind, La Capitale is not very quick in setting up PADs, so there is going to be a 30-day delay from the time you submit to the start of the PAD. So in this case, it's set up for the 15th day of the month. That will not happen next month. It'll happen the month after. If you want money to be run for the immediate month, then you'd simply do a single and recurring and put the PAD or monthly PAD amount in the single payment. So we'd lift $200 right away in this case, and then we would lift $200 not the next month but the month after. We are also going to set up a transfer. In this case here, we just follow through. Do you want us to fill out the transfer form? We'll say yes. Source of funds is an RSP. The plan number at the relinquishing institution. Total or partial transfer. A dollar amount. Here I put in $50,000. Scroll down. Date of the transfer. Upon receipt of this form. Where it's coming from, in this case, the fictitious company Banco, the fax number, address, province, country, postal code. Is the signature of a revocable beneficiary required for this transfer? We'll put no. Obviously, if there was one required, you'd put yes. So we'll leave that as no. If you want to not have us fax this directly to the relinquishing institution, you simply do not put a fax number, and then nothing will get sent. What will happen if you do put a fax number is that when we hit submit, La Capitale will signature guarantee stamp it, the transfer form, and fax it to the fax number provided. And then we will send you an email saying that the fax has been received or the fax has been rejected. If it has been rejected because it's the wrong fax number or what have you, then don't forget, we are going to email you copies of all the paperwork. You simply print a copy of the transfer form, correct the fax number, and send it through yourself. We have an orange button on the next side, so we click next, and this is the investment instructions. So this is our $200 a month PAD. In this case here, we have to select either a daily interest account or one of the La Capitale investment accounts or funds. Let's do that. Select an account. Here we'll select the AGF aggressive profile. These are your different commission structures. So moderate is low load, purchase is front end, redemption is back end. So we're going to go with the back end redemption fees, and you put in a percentage. In this case, we'll leave it at 100%. Next, the $5,000 transfer. You have a choice of daily interest. You can use GICs if you want. All the GICs are listed there. Or you can pick a fund. We'll do that. Here, we'll select the profile, aggressive profile from National Bank, and we will put this one in. We'll say front end or purchase fees and 100%. Next, We have the $50,000 transfer that's coming from Bankco. Again, we can add daily interest account, guaranteed investment certificate, or the investment accounts. Select that. Here, all the funds are listed here. So we'll pick American Equity by Fiera. We'll say this one here, we'll put low load or moderate redemption fees. We'll say 80%. And then we'll add another one to make up 100%. We'll say the Canadian Balance Fund from Dynamic, low load, the balance of 20%, and we add it. Next, these are disclaimers, just stating that the investment accounts are not guaranteed except in the event of death, so that's the 100% death benefit. Transaction dates, if we receive the submission prior to 4 o'clock, you'll get that day's trade date. If it's after 4, you'll get the next day's trade date. If you are using GICs, we will guarantee the rate for 12 days on purchases and 60 days on transfers. And here's the PAD agreement. All of it's light blue except for at the bottom. This is where you'd put the bank account information for the client. So the transit number, the bank number, and the account number. We don't need a voided check to set up an RSP. We do need a voided check when we're doing a RIF account, but not for RSPs. This, again, is your information. So your name, last name, first name, your advisor code, the name of your MGA, the email address of your MGA, which was on the original profile page, and their telephone number. If you were doing any dealer reimbursements or redemption fee remittance, we do have a special form you would complete by hand, and you'd simply just take a photo of it. Click on that button, you can take a photo. And there's the photo of my desk. Put in the place where it's signed. Name of the witness. Do you want a limited authorization form? The answer is yes. Do you wish the limited authorization form to be valid for other contracts? If we put yes, we'll have to put the contract numbers that you want this new limited authorization form to attach to. So if the client has existing accounts at La Capitale and they didn't have a limited authorization form in the past, you can do it now and have them attached to those previously set up accounts. So we'll leave it as no because we don't actually have any of those to put in. Next. And here are the PDFs generated. It's just like our regular application. Contract holders information. It's an RSP. The beneficiary designation. These are parts of the application that weren't required. Obviously, we didn't buy an annuity, or we're not setting up a RIF or a LIF. Let's transfer $50,000 from Bankco. Here are the investment instructions. So the codes are automatically put in for whatever commission structure you wanted. You have the periodic deposit, that's the $200. The $5,000 cash deposit, there it is. The ETF or EFT deposit, and you can see the two funds were selected there. You keep scrolling down, we're looking for a blue dot for our signature. Here's the PAD agreement, $5,000, single payment, $200 on the 15th day of every month, the bank account information. And there's the blue dot with the pencil in it. That's where we need a signature. You press on the blue dot, the signature page comes up. This is the payor or contract holder. They just sign the device with their finger or a stylus. Signature of contract holder, again, that's the client. Signature of financial security advisor, that's the advisor. And you'll notice that the next button has gone orange. That means that we have all the signatures we need on that document. This is the T2033 or transfer form. Signature of contract holder. The limited authorization form. You have the contract holder signature here. You have the witness signature, which is the advisor. You'll notice on the right-hand side of the screen there's a dot, but it's whited out. that means we don't need a signature there, and that's where, in this case, the irrevocable beneficiary would sign. We don't have one, so there's no signature required. The last blue dot is the advisor signature at the bottom. Orange next button means we have all the signatures we need. This is the profile selector. This is not mandatory. You don't have to complete one of these. Here's all the questions and the answers that were submitted. There's a score. The profile is aggressive profile, client's name, date of birth, what their profile is. And again, you have a blue dot here. It's the client. And then you have the advisor signature here. The advantage of doing the profile selector, if you're using any of our ready-built portfolios by AGF or National Bank, they're very handy. Other than that, they are not bad things to have in terms of compliance. The client has taken the time to complete this form. We've established, in this case, that the client has an aggressive profile. They can't turn around in a few months and say, I was really conservative, not aggressive, because we have the signed form right here. And that's it. Now, once we hit the submit button, all of this information is going to go through FundServe and populate accounts at La Capitale. We'll set up the pack. We'll do the one-time withdrawal from the client's bank account. We will fax a T2033 to BankCo, and we have standing investment instructions for when that money comes in. So there's no more paper. There's no more making mistakes on applications. Everything is done, nice and clean. So the mobile office is a real time saver. It does take a little bit to get used to, but once you do, you'll be happy that you made the switch onto the electronic application. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, you can call our brokerage support line and they can walk you through any of these individual stages. Thanks, and thanks for using La Capitale.